It's now more or less exactly 1 year that my life totally changed from one day to the other. I was diagnosed pancreatic cancer, and well, that broke my world, my universe. So everything was different from one second to the other. And I was in hospital, and they did some examinations, and the doctor said, okay, we will try to operate, because otherwise you will not have a chance to survive long term. It's the only chance you have. I went in that surgery, and when I woke up, the doctor came, who was the chief in the hospital, who did the job, the main job, and he told me it was not successful. And at that moment, all those emotions were increasing, because I thought, then I have to die. So they proposed to do a combination of radio, chemo, hyperthermia therapy, and I was undergoing this. I was going through this with the target to push back the tumor. The reason for it was not operable was the tumor was growing outside the pancreas into veins and arteries, and they didn't dare, because they thought they wouldn't survive that. So that was the target, to push it back there and then to have a second attempt for a second surgery. That took place on 8th of January, and it again was not successful. And I did not have a clue about meditation. I did not have any spiritual or access to spirituality. And I think a bit by intuition at that time, I moved a little bit in that direction. First things I did, I was looking for alternative medical treatments, and I built a plan for myself to do something on this level. But doing this after a while, I still felt something is missing. And I was on a waiting list for a special hospital, small hospital nearby my hometown. I thought I found it by coincidence, but coincidence is something that I interpret much different nowadays than before. However, I had to wait to go into that hospital, and decided to do an Ayurvedic treatment in Sri Lanka in between. And I was ready to fly out there, and I was buying some books which I wanted to read down there. And you won't believe which book it was. It was Dr. Joe's Are The Placebo. And that was the moment when I was really, let me say, turning to that direction of spirituality, because I needed that proof that it can really work to influence our body with our mind. Since I'm doing these meditations and working in that direction, hardly my relationships with my kids, with my partner, with my friends, it has improved. My mind is calm. I'm clear about death. And then I started more and more believing that I could probably cure me, that I could heal me. I had the feeling that there were a lot of material things, medical things around. I'm an expert in nutrition now. I did develop my own nutrition, my diet. I was putting together a lot of alternative medical treatments at different doctors. There is no advice by one doctor to do this and to do that. So I really need to, let me say, to coordinate myself, and I do that, but I had the feeling in the middle there is a hole. And this is filled with the meditation. I started to feel well again. I recovered, I regained strength. I do sports. In June I was on Lago di Garda, in Lake of Garda in Italy. I climbed the mountains. I was doing the mountain biking. About 4 weeks ago, I went to my last scan, CT scan. They were looking to the scan, and they said, we cannot explain why. And it usually does not happen. We don't have seen it in our hospital before, but the tumor has become smaller. So obviously something is also happening on the tumor, really happening on the tumor. And when we are in meditation here, and I get so intense feelings about, how you say that, thankfulness, love. It's amazing. It's amazing what positive emotions I can create. And I really believe that the tumor will disappear over time. And that's my story.